Hello, this is Jessica Barkley, and welcome to another edition of Mind Your Mindset. Hello, last time we talked about clearing the clutter in your mind. By clearing the clutter also clearing the clutter in your spaces, where you work, where you live. Well, this time I want to talk about clearing the clutter of the past. Yes, we have lots of different types of clutters, especially in the past. Where we are right now in life and how we see ourselves, for most of us, depends on how we look at our past. There are many reasons why we shouldn't be looking at the past in order to define who we are today. In a way, the things that did happen to us in the past that were negative helped us become the person who we are now. But that doesn't mean that we need to be looking at the past constantly in order to know who we are now. Who we are now is a very different version of who we were then. And if you're still the same person you were 20 years ago, think again and look at which ways have you evolved. Maybe the core of you is still the same, maybe the essence is still the same, but certain principles and certain ideas and certain ways of looking at things have changed. Let's hope so. Because we are meant to evolve, we are meant to grow. That's why we have experiences. So by clearing the clutter in the past, what do I mean? I mean clearing the clutter of things that have happened in the past, of episodes of our past that bring us pain or remorse or make us feel like victims. Or sometimes it's the things that others did to us or that we perceive that others did to us. You see, in an all-inclusive universe and the law of attraction, we are always attracting to ourselves what happens to us. I know this is very hard to believe, thinking, oh my God, I was just a child. How could I have attracted my father hitting me or abusing me, or my mother being so mean, or this poverty, or whatever situations happened in the past that were very, very negative. We all come here for different purposes and different missions. We come here to grow, to expand, to help the universe and the world and the human race expand and grow. That's why we have always constantly new ideas and new ways of looking at life. That's how our lives get better. Just think about it, how our lives were 100 years ago. Life was so inconvenient there. Do you really see yourself doing the things that people had to do in order to earn money, and the little money that they earn and how they spend it? It was really hard. Life was a lot harder. Now life is getting a lot easier. Mostly because human beings have been wishing and have been expanding with ideas and have been creating through the power of their thought. So that's what you want to do with your life. What we want to do is not just recreate the past, we want to create our future. The only way of doing that is by not getting stuck on sequences of the past. So, clearing out the past is very important. Why? First of all, because you want to look at the now. You don't want to look at the past. You want to look at what's going on now and your future. Yes, certain people, some of us had wonderful times in our past, but that has all been a blend of good, bad, that helps you grow. If you must concentrate on the past, do not concentrate ever. But if you want to look back, well, look at the pleasant memories and the things that, make you feel good. After all, once again, is what you choose to think about, is the mindset. And if you must look at the situations that really hurt you in the past, try to look at them from a different perspective. It's very liberating when you look at a situation where you thought you were the victim and you look at it from another perspective. From thinking, look at how that situation helped me be the person who I am now. It empowered me to know exactly who I didn't want to become or what I didn't want to do in my life. Think of how many people that have been abused as children are now advocates for children who are abused and have created safe places for these children to go, and these parents to help their children safely. So there's many ways in which negative situations have transformed us into a better person, or have allowed us to create better situations for others who have gone through the same thing or who are going through the same thing. It makes us more compassionate. And here I use the word compassionate and not empathy, because empathizing is putting yourself in that person's shoes, which must not help them very much. Compassion is when you look at the possibilities of that person becoming the real person that they want to be. Now that's compassion. And that's very positive because you move forward and you help that person move forward to a better version of themselves. So there are many difficult people in our life that have helped us define who we are. Sometimes by our having very strict parents, and they were very religious, or maybe they were an understanding of your ways and your music and the way you wanted to live your life and restricted you so much. Well, it made you define the parent that you want to be. So now for your kids, that it's important to give them that freedom, to give them the understanding, to keep an open mind to that generation. So in so many ways, those difficult people in our past have taught us to be such a much more stronger and better version of ourselves. Think about those teachers that gave you such a hard time in school, but then taught you a way of being, standing up for yourself and being stronger in so many ways. It helps you also, by going through all these past experiences, it helps you define what you want clearly. But by knowing what you don't want, you know what you want much more clearly. And therefore you become that better person, that better version of yourself. Now, also, in the past, if you have failed at something, that doesn't mean you're going to fail at it again and again. Look at the failure and look at the way it happened and how, maybe that failure helped you shape and define what things you need to adjust and what things need to be regarded differently in order for you to succeed. So past failures doesn't mean that you're going to have the same failure in the future unless you're thinking, I am not good at that. Then if you put that belief in your mind, in your thoughts, then that's what's going to happen. You're never going to succeed at that. Suppose somebody told you that you sang horribly when you were 5. You were singing one day and your mother passed by. This is what happened to me. And my mother goes, oh my God, stop that. Well, that's very hurtful to a child that's trying to be the next, I don't know, that Diane Reeves or whatever. It's the squish. It's like passing by, somebody who's got dreams and just squishing them up with one foot as you step in and out of their lives real quick, and then you don't even have time to find out what happened. Usually, maybe my mother was having a bad day or was in a bad mood and didn't want to hear me, screeching out my songs. Anyways, it does stay in your mind, From then on, I said I'm never going to sing again. I was so embarrassed singing, and even though I love singing, I never pursued that. Well, I don't know, maybe it was not in the cards, but is anybody to tell you what you're good and what you're not good at? I think where you need to find out is within you. So if you love something, it's been proven one and a time and again. How many people were told they couldn't do something and then they end up being like the best at whatever they did? Look at athletes, look at singers, look at actors. I mean, you see it all over the place. So many places, where people were discouraged by others, even by professionals in their field. Oh yeah, you'll never succeed at that. And look at them. They prove them wrong in so many ways. So guess what? It's up to you to think what you want to think of what others think of you. If I was you, I wouldn't spend 2 seconds of other people's opinion. It's just take it with a grain of salt. And don't even take it if you can. So that is very important. Now, the meanest people can be the ones that push us to grow the most as well. So, look at how those remarks or how those mean people have helped you grow, within. So sometimes it's good to look at the past if it's something that's been bugging you, that always pops up in your mind, like somebody told you that you're a loser. I had very mean brothers that were always beating me up. I mean, it was ridiculous the way it was going on. My mother could never see that. But but they were really mean. Anyways, so I grew up, thinking that boys were just mean, and that was the norm. But and then I was going to an all girls school. Imagine that. I was felt very safe there. But then, as I, of course, eventually I had to go into the world, and I discovered that no, boys are not mean. To the contrary, boys like me very much. Yeah, of course. But that really helped change the way I felt about a certain subject. There's so many ways in which you can continue to perpetuate the past. Like, I was once beaten by a dog when I was a little child. I was 5. The dog just knocked me unconscious and started shredding my face off, took 2 front teeth, destroyed my face. Well, my parents decided to keep dogs after that because they didn't want me to be afraid of dogs. And that's exactly what happened. We had dogs, many dogs afterwards, and I've never been scared of dogs. It's like when you fall off a horse. I used to, horseback ride. And when I was learning, I would fall off the horse, and my teacher, who happened to be my sister, very mean sister, anyways, she was firm. She would get me, I said, you didn't hurt anything? Well, get back on that horse right away. Don't let him know that you're scared of it. And and I would get back, and that's where I learned. Those lessons teach you so much about you and who you are. Just because you fail once doesn't mean that you fail again. So it's very important to keep that in mind and to get back on the horse right away. It happens to a lot of people that do, cycling and sports too. They did that, unless you rip a limb or something like that. I don't know. But it's up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with and whatever you believe. Certainly do not try it again unless, your mind is there. Your mind has to be there with you. Also, the other thing is your inner being, your inner guide, is never looking at the past. The only time you look at the past is when you decide to go there. But your inner self is always looking at the latest version of you. That is the version of you that you have created so far, that because of all the experiences that you have had and all the desires that you have developed from those experiences and more, you have become a different person and you want to be that person. Well, your inner being is looking at that, is focusing on that, and it's trying to guide you to go there. The only way you're going to get there is by allowing your inner being to guide you. If you keep looking at the past, you're going to go backwards instead of going forward. You're going to go in the direction that you're looking at. When you're driving, if you look at the ditch, you're going to head towards the ditch whether you want it or not. If you're looking forward, you're going to head on the direction that you want to go. So the same thing with your life. Where you're looking at, where you're focusing at, that's where you're going to go. So if you keep focusing on the future, that's where you're going to go. If you keep focusing on the person that you want to be, that successful person, that happy person, that joyful person that you want to become, that fulfilled person, that's who you're going to become. Keep focusing on that. But whenever you look back at things that happen to you that make you feel sad or make you feel restrained or, unhappy, you're putting all kinds of blockage in your way. So don't look back. Look forward, because you don't want to move back and then go forward, back and forward. It's hard. It's hard for you. And then that's when you get frustrated. That's when you get depressed. That's when you get sad. Just see, the best gauge is how you feel. How do you feel when you look forward at the person you want to be? And how do you feel when you look back at things that don't feel good? Let them go. Let them go once and for all. Declutter your life from all the past. And just forget about those people. Forgive them. Do the best that you can. But let them go. And you'll see. You are going to move forward so much faster and being the person that you want to be. And you will be happy. I'm going to leave you with a quote from my book. It's also called Mind Your Mindset. It goes, the only time when the past and the present meet is when we look backwards. And so, you see, when you look backwards, that's when the past and the present meet. But if you keep looking backwards, how are you going to go forwards? So let's let go of that. Let go of those hurts. Why they hurt you then? Why are you choosing to be hurt now? Just let go and forgive those who hurt you. They, I'm sure, didn't mean to. And they probably not even, most of them are not even thinking about it. You still are. Let it go. Well, this is the end of this session. I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Jessica Barkley. This is Mind Your Mindset. Until the next time, Be good to yourself. Love life.